Hello, I'm Kiri Pritchard McLean. It's my party, and I will have a druid drag queen if I want to.
Hell yeah. Hello, I'm Catherine Bohart, and welcome to It's My Party, where we are celebrating Comic Relief's 40th birthday in the best way possible by planning a massive party. Now, as always, I'm here in my role as the perfect party planner, and so I'm going to be sitting down with a brilliant guest, getting to know them and their party needs, and then we're going to help them plan their perfect do. This week I'm joined by multi-award-winning comedian, satirist and writer Kiri Pritchard McLean. Kiri's recent credits include hosting Live at the Apollo. Oh, that was my episode. That's what I'm calling it, even though you were hosting it. And appearing on Have I Got News For You, 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, QI and Frankie Boyle's New World Order. She's also the co-host of the podcast All Killa No Filla with Rachel Fairburn. Kiri, welcome to It's My Party. It's great to have you on. And what on earth have you been up to?
I am having the most beautiful Zen-like year.
Are you? It's early in the year to be claiming Zen.
Yeah, well, I had a very busy year on tour last year.
You did a huge tour.
Yeah, and then I go away to Australia later this year. So I'm just doing some just classic white lady things, connecting with the moon cycles.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Yeah. Doing, I'd say, probably the same amount of gigs, but for worse money. And just being in my garden a bit more.
Oh my gosh, is that how you relax, just gardening?
No, it's a new addition that
Okay.
I've been told. I read somewhere that gardeners have the highest job satisfaction rate. And I'm a vegan, so I'm trying to grow more of my own vegetables. I'm very in touch with it. Listen, this will not last till even the summer.
And what's the thing you're happiest you've grown in your garden?
Well, I've accidentally grown a lovely crop of beetroot that I must have, or someone has put it in last year and I have forgotten about it. So thus far, that. But what we all really want to nail is the potato, right?
Oh my God,
She's the gift that keeps giving.
She really is. You can do her in bags. You can do her in the ground.
Exactly.
My God, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they flower.
And it's quite pretty.
So beautiful, yeah. Oh God, I love them. Although I have to say, I'm a big fan of beetroot. You can make a lot with it and make a good cake.
Oh, yes. But also I think beetroot, if not handled well, I'm eating soil. That's going to make me think that I have blood in my stools.
Yeah, when you put it like that, that is true. But for some reason, I quite like both sensations. I love the soil and I'm quite a dramatic gal. So any excuse. How nice. So the show is called It's My Party. To go from stools to that. So the show is called It's My Party. But today it's your party, Kiri. Now, I think I know the answer. Mm-hmm. Just based on your vibe, outfit and general personality. But I'll ask open-mindedly, what is your relationship with party planning?
I'm obsessed with throwing parties. Is that what you expected?
I fully expected your answer to be one word and for that word to be intense.
I love parties and have done since I was... Weirdly, I didn't have a birthday party until I was 11.
Okay. Is that late?
I think so. I think... I had certainly been to more than I had invited people to.
Okay.
But then when I was about... There's some real cringe stuff coming up here. But when I was about...
Welcome to the space, Kiri Pritchard McLean. That's what we're here for. Yes, please. Go on.
From mid-teens, so 15, I would have... Probably fortnightly shindigs. Very cool word.
Shindigs, a throwback. Whoa, I haven't heard that in a while. Made my tummy feel weird. Nice.
Yeah, that's embarrassment. That's what that is.
Okay, and what were the fortnightly shindigs about?
So it'd be me and a gang of friends, and we would go over to the farm that I grew up on, and we would run 3 extension leads out to one of the fields, and I'd have my hi-fi out there. There obviously would be a fire. There would obviously be a guitar, usually some kind of disposable barbecue. We weren't really big drinkers. I was allergic to alcohol. One guy had made himself allergic to alcohol by drinking ethanol at another house party. We can't get into that.
Okay.
It's the countryside.
Yeah, I mean, it's giving rural, if I may. And sorry, it's very flame-oriented. The adults were okay with you guys being like, we're going to have a barbecue and a fire. Peace out. We're also, somebody will be drinking ethanol, but don't think about it.
No, they won't be drinking ethanol anymore.
Good.
They've made their bed, but which, deeply flammable. They were very, my parents, I got to a certain age, went from being strict to being very hands-off. So it was about that time. They're like, yeah, fine.
Great. I love that. I love being intensely strict and then being like, you want multiple sources of fire? By all means. Okay, so this was fortnightly.
Yeah.
And then, wow, you must have been popular.
Well, no, it was it wasn't huge. There wasn't 40, 100 people there.
Yeah.
This is a rotating group of about 10 people.
It has the quality of those sort of American montages where people were like at the beach till 5 a.m. building fires. It sounds cool.
We did do some. We did see some beach shindigs as well, and they would be larger in attendance.
Wow, a shindig on the beach.
I
My
know.
goodness me. So were those always organised by you and catered by you?
Yes, when I say catered by me, I would just make bacon sandwiches for everybody in the morning.
That's stellar.
Yeah, and they'd sort of be on their own with the snacks. Often it would just be a trip to a sort of German supermarket to just.
In Wales?
It's in Aldi or Lidl.
That makes...
I was trying to be aware of branding, but you're like, whoa.
I was like, huh?
It's actually much quicker to go to Germany from Wales than it is to go over the border to England.
I was like, you're driving to Germany to do a stock up for the... I was like, wow, this girl plans.
No, we'd get sort of like mad. So I remember one time we were camping, because we grew up in beautiful North Wales, so we'd go camping in sort of the countryside. We're in this amazing spot by a river, and we had marshmallows, and we were all sort of messing around with them on a fire. I didn't realise they were full of jam, which at this point is absolutely boiling.
No.
Yeah, we were sort of messing around, and I sort of flicked it at my friend's face, and it exploded. And he has a permanent scar. He can't grow a bit of beard here because he got injured by the jam. Now I'm saying out loud, parents should have been far more hands-on than they were in these things.
Gosh.
Yeah.
But also to get a jam injury, wow.
I know.
This is a serious
Very
party.
Welsh.
Yeah. Okay, so you're into parties and you've always planned them. Okay.
Yes.
Now then, party-wise, best one you've ever been to, worst one you've ever been to, please.
Oh, such a good question. I mean, weddings don't count, but I think a wedding should feel like a party.
I completely agree.
It's the best party you'll ever throw.
It should be. It's certainly going to be the most expensive.
Exactly, because you basically get to have you have a budget like you're a celebrity for a normal party.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when they're good, they're so good. So, but I'm gonna discount weddings. Best party I've ever been to. Oh,
You can say your own if you're a big party gal.
it is gonna be.
Is it?
Yeah, one of my own. Then when I moved to Manchester and I started doing comedy and had such a brilliant gang of mates, frequently would have house parties.
Yeah.
And always fancy dress as well. That's very important.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, and obviously when you're surrounded by extroverts and creative people, there's some very strong showings for that. So, what has been the best party? There's usually something I'm trying to think, am I going to go by theme or events that happened?
Give us some drama.
Okay, so I'm trying to think.
I
what
can
is
watch
safe
you
to
brain-wise checking what you're allowed to say, and it's
Yeah.
such a phenomenal... It's like that meme of the woman doing the science algorithm where she's like...
I had a party when I lived in North Manchester, and it was when it was a big gang of comedians coming over, fancy dress, everyone's having a great time.
Gorgeous.
A comedian who shall remain nameless but has significant profile.
Okay.
Very sweetly, had baked brownies for everyone.
Oh no.
Yes, yeah. I didn't partake, and that's not just me being like, I need to keep my DBS. But a very sweet guy I'm in a sketch group with, Ed from Taro, was like, how delightful, somebody has baked brownies.
Oh god.
And had no idea, and then was just like, and they're delicious.
No.
And like knocked back 6 of them, and then someone was like,
First of all, sorry, what person's eating 6 even if they're not full of weed? Like, Ed, leave some for the rest of the gang, my
but
guy.
he was like, no one's having these, they're absolutely scrumptious. And he's like, well, I don't want to be rude.
Oh, he's doing that thing you do for mammies where you're
Yeah.
like, well, you've gone to all this effort, so I'll eat 6 if nobody else is going to have one.
Yes, when I go to my auntie's put on a big spread and I have to eat a ham sandwich even though I'm vegan because I don't want to let her down. It was that kind of situation.
No.
Yeah, so he just knocked back all these, and then someone was like, "Oh, they kicked in yet?" And he's like, "I beg your pardon," and isn't someone who partakes because it makes him really paranoid.
Oh no.
So then the worst thing is to find out that you've had 6 brownies and you're dressed as a giant easel. You know, he's having a bad time. I hasten to add, I do not condone this. He had the worst night of his life. We all had a great time laughing at him. But if you're going to nail 6 weed brownies, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, don't try that at home. I think it's a
No,
reasonable...
absolutely not.
Did he make it out okay?
He did, yeah, but he still talks about it, and it was 15 years ago.
That sounds traumatic. Oh my god. Okay.
But it was very fun for everybody else.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And he lives to tell the tales.
Okay,
So.
we're thrilled.
Yeah.
Worst party?
Ooh, interesting. Worst party. And again, you can't include wakes, can you? Although I absolutely love a wake.
Yeah, and also a bit harsh to call it the worst party.
Although they're
The
not
lives
organising
are
it.
off.
Worst.
You're crying.
Oh, worst party is... So I basically grew up on the island of Anglesey, but I went to school on the mainland, and then my friends are sort of scattered all over the place. So I just knew a lot of people from different schools.
Okay.
And then my friend was like, I'm going to have a New Year's Eve party. Do you want to invite the people you know? And I was like, yeah, great. So I invited, and it was like a skins party before those were a thing. There was hundreds of teenagers there.
No.
Who trashed the house,
Feral,
yeah, of a really brilliant, amazing, great, cool mum as well. I just remember walking into one room and seeing a guy jump in the air and punch the lampshade off the ceiling pendant, and I was like, this has gone too far. I felt obviously deeply responsible, and I've never cheated on anyone, but that is the night that I came closest to. There was a boy I really fancied, and he was talking to me in a doorway, and his face was getting closer and closer to mine. I was like,
doorways are for kissing.
They're so
Everybody
sexy.
knows that.
They're so, earthquakes, kissing. That's the only time you should be loitering in a doorway.
Completely agree.
Yeah. Unless you're a dad who watches television in the doorway, which is a
Why
strange
must
thing.
they do that?
It's
Always,
really
yeah.
bizarre.
It's just like come in, come out, and also you don't like it. Just go. You don't. Okay, fantastic. Wow. Okay, those are good stories. Now, do you have a party trick?
Oh, yeah, but it's not for family. I can hold aloft a pint glass in my boobs.
No.
I couldn't do it with this top on now because I've not got the access. But yeah, I can. And sometimes if I've had a few drinks, I can bend back and drink from it as well.
Why do I find that so sexy?
It's what I do at wakes, actually. That's
It really turns the mood. Wow, awake to an orgy that fast. Oh my god, what a stunning skill.
Yeah,
Because then you can really use your hands.
yeah, exactly. And I'm quite, I like to tell a story in many ways, telling a story of something. But I like to use my hands when I'm talking. So yeah.
Wow, what a built-in table. That's gorgeous. Well, surprisingly, I don't have that skill.
It's more. I wouldn't put anything on it. It's a cup holder, definitely over a table. Yeah.
A cup holder. My apologies. That makes total sense. Right, so let's get into it. Venue.
Yes.
Talk to me. What's
Okay.
your ideal venue for a party?
Very genuinely, my house.
No. Are you serious?
Yeah, the
But you
house
have
I
to
live
clean
in
it
now.
up.
Yeah, but I also have very generous friends who sort of like getting involved.
That's so trusting and nice. I just realised I'm like, I don't trust my friends at all. I'm like, get back here. You haven't taken the bags. Okay, so your house. Why?
Yes. Okay, couple of reasons why. I have not in a bougie way. I have a great house. I live in the countryside.
Yeah.
It's half a mile to the neighbours. It's so frequent that we'll have fireworks and stuff at our house.
No one's going to even notice.
Karaoke outside.
What?
Yeah.
Al fresco karaoke?
Under the stars. Are you kidding me?
Wow, I don't like to be outdoors or sing in public, so this is my genuine nightmare, but it sounds glamorous.
It's really fun.
Wow.
We're better to sing top loaders dancing in the moonlight than in the
Than in the
yard
fucking
of a
moonlight.
farm in North Wales. Do you know what I also like? So I love having it in my house because also I'd get less stressed about getting ready because I just have to come downstairs. I'm someone who likes a break every now and then. Or a little nap,
Me
or an
too.
intense conversation in a
Yes.
private space with someone. Much easier in my own home.
Rewind, did you just say nap?
Yeah.
You can come back from a nap to a party.
Oh yeah, ready to go.
Whoa, if I sleep, it's done. I'm out.
Well, that's the other thing as well is I can kind of sleep through anything. So the nicest feeling in the world is when all my friends come over and like I'm knackered because I've come from a gig or something like that. I sit and hang out with them for a bit and then I go upstairs and I fall asleep to my friends laughing. It's such a nice.
That's so nice.
Yeah, or murdering Moana on the karaoke, obviously.
Oh, but you can send them outside, so that's grand. Okay, so we know where it is. Can I get a sense? Is there an upstairs, downstairs?
Yes, there's upstairs, downstairs.
Fantastic. There's going to be indoor, outdoor spaces.
Yes.
Is there anywhere in the house that you're not letting people go?
Well, it's sounding so bougie, but our bedroom has an ensuite, which means that bathroom just for us.
Good for you. Are
Yes.
you letting people in the bedroom?
No, it'll be, but only because it's untidy and like everything
Fine.
else will have been Botoxed for the occasion.
Of course. Are you putting a sign on your door? Are you putting a little tinsel sheath? What are you doing?
There's no sheets in my
Yeah.
house. No, I'll pull the door to. My house is so confusing that I can. It's a really old house, so everything's all over the place. So what I do is treat them like moths. Put the light on outside the bathroom, so when they go, "Where's the bathroom?" Go upstairs, ignore all the doors, just head towards the light.
Nice. Oh, God. She's done this before.
You don't even have to be like, she's so uptight, she won't let us in the bedroom. They're never even going to look at it. It's in a
That's
dark
amazing.
corner.
Wow, build a house that's sort of like a riddle and then nobody will leave.
Exactly.
Great. So, it's in your house. Now, is there a theme? Dream party.
Oh, yeah.
Would there be a theme?
Yes. I'm having, every year, my partner and I throw an Easter egg hunt for all the children in our area that we love.
That's so nice.
This year, I'm upping it every year. I've just hired a bouncy castle. Suitable for adults. It's too much. Last year, I hid 500 eggs, which is too much for...
500
Yeah,
eggs.
there was like 13 kids there. It's too much. It's a real peril walking the dog for the next few days.
Yeah.
Because clearly he's going to be...
Chocolate can kill the dog.
He can kill the dog, yeah. But luckily these children are like locusts and they do find everything.
They're not leaving one behind.
No. Now, my biggest struggle with this, I love throwing that party every year, but to not make it fancy dress is so difficult. So,
Yeah.
it would definitely be fancy dress. I love a themed fancy dress as
Okay,
well.
talk to me. If you could have a dream theme.
Well, what you got to do is you got to strike the balance between specificity,
Yeah.
but also if someone hates fancy dress, they can just, put on a jacket.
This is such a good point. You don't want to put off the shy, great, intense chatters.
Yeah.
Who, you're right.
Who clean up the next day, Catherine?
Yes, exactly. And who, let's be honest, check on people who need checking on, who I don't want to check on. So that's fine. But then, yeah, you do want them to come and you want them not to be put off by the theme. So what are you thinking?
Well, you keep it broad. So what a great thing if you're having a birthday party is to use the first letter of your name and go anything that begins with C. Because they can be like, oh, I'm a cat, and they've just got whiskers drawn on their face.
Gorgeous.
Or someone can be like, I'm a Cadillac, and they've built a whole car that they've arrived in. So
oh my God.
it just allows people to be, so something like that. A letter is a really good one.
I love that.
Yeah, it's
that's
great.
excellent. Okay, so that I guess answers my next question of would you have a dress code? The answer is yes, but an accessible one.
Yes, definitely. Because
Right.
ultimately you just want everyone to have fun. And I think fancy dress, I think it's really fun, but I know that some people it's their worst nightmare.
I find it quite stressful, only because I feel like and the thing is, I actually love getting dressed up and I love going to parties. And when I'm there, I have a great time. But when I get an invitation and it has dress code on it, I do feel like, why are you giving me this task? Why have you given me
It's an
work?
errand, yeah.
Oh my God, now I have to, and actually that's silly.
Also, if you keep it vague like that, because makes me like my blood run cold rather, is the thought that people are going to be going on Amazon and buying plastic stuff they're not going to use again. So if you keep it very vague, they can go, well, I've already got this thing. And also, funny people will really like lean into it and find an excuse to be funny,
That's
which is
true.
great.
It is a good metric of a person. I think you can be like, oh, you thought that was okay? It's a no. You're gonna be in
there's been
the
a few of those.
outdoor group.
Had to take the Facebook photo albums down from a couple of things that haven't aged brilliantly.
We've all done that. Okay, so very important question. Now, based on your earlier answer about your childhood parties, I'm wondering if you've evolved in this regard. But are you serving food?
We tend to. So
Yes. Right.
we're not having a sit down dinner. There's not anything like that. But this is really difficult because what I am doing with this, so I would say yes. Now, what we have a pizza oven. Again, the whole house is just designed towards having people over.
Divine.
And
flame. You love an open
an
flame.
open flame when there's children around.
Please.
So this pizza oven is absolutely fantastic. My partner is amazing at making them. Everybody loves pizzas. So if kids are coming, adults coming, you can do vegan, you can do gluten-free, you can do all the dietary requirements.
But is he not then sort of tied
That
to the
is
pizza oven?
Yeah, but also sometimes that's worth it because he makes really good pizza.
What if I told you we had a budget? Could we have somebody work the pizza oven?
100%. Yeah, I know exactly who it would be as well.
Amazing. Could we let the man have the evening off?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Okay, gorgeous.
Yeah, because we do have, every time I'm like, shall we say there's pizzas when we're sending an invite out for a party? And I see him look so sad.
Yeah, because it's like, I guess I'm working that shift
Yeah,
then.
it's just like, so what I'm going is like, are you okay not to come to the party, but be there? Like, when
you cool to watch the party from the side?
like when they watch the staff in Downton Abbey, they let them watch the carols.
Exactly.
That's sort of what he's doing, sort of bobbing around. But what I noticed, we have a mutual friend in the fantastic Adam Drake. He sometimes doesn't always know how to sort of. He was saying, basically one year I said, your job is to go around and get orders from everyone for the pizzas and then we can bang them out. And he said, I was like, it's a rubbish job. And he was like, I actually love it because it means I get to talk to everyone. I have a reason for talking. I have a reason for leaving. And then I've spoken to everyone and then I can sort of go back and... Yeah.
Is it not the dream to be able to go, oh, gotta get these orders in? And the amount of times at a party, I wish I could whip out a notebook and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I wanted in the kitchen. Toodaloo. But also the amount of conversation I wanted to butt into, but you need an excuse like, hey, I'm just...
Yeah, do you need some
Everything
do you
okay?
sweet
Just
corn?
gonna check out what you wanted for pizza. Why are you crying? I care. Okay, great. So we've got pizzas. Is it an open bar? Is it a BYOB? What's the situation? Is there a cocktail of the evening?
Often, right? If it's seasonal, we'll do a cocktail for the night.
God, she's good. God,
Yes, but what will happen? So I have a, a growing concern in my household. There is too much alcohol. Bearing in mind we don't really drink outside of parties.
Well, that's why you've got too much alcohol.
And then everyone brings a bottle, and then you don't get through it all. Genuinely, the next party we're planning on having is, can you help us clear some of the alcohol people have left?
What do you
Because
get-
also it's wild stuff. So you get like, there's just lots of bottles of sort of like some kind of flavoured gin with gold flakes in with a reindeer on the front. I think I've got 4 of those that are like clementine or mince pie flavoured, but it's like some sweet people have bought these over at Christmas.
And
like,
thank you.
Yeah, and it's so lovely. But
But
like,
no more.
There's 2 of us. When we were my partner and I, foster carers, and when our house was being assessed, the guy came round and he went, "Oh, there's a lot of alcohol." And we're like, "Oh yeah, we have parties." And he turned around and he looked in my eyes and went, "It's on every flat surface." And we were like, because because we were also using it decoratively, but you'd have like a wine rack on a windowsill or something like that. But he was like, "It's on every surface." He was like, "A little bit's fine."
It's on every flat surface.
Yes.
Okay, Judgy McGee. Wow.
I mean, that is his job. That is his job.
Fair enough. But still, yikes. Keep some of it in your head, my guy. Write it in the form you haven't said to my face.
So what? But then the compromise was like, have you got a room you can lock it in? We're like, okay, yeah, fine. So
But
our
now you have some
office
sort of-
is like an outdoor office, and it's now just full of alcohol.
You've got an outdoor cellar. Could you, what are you calling that party where you invite everyone over to drink? It's like a drain
dregs,
party.
a dregs
Dregs
party.
party. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I was going to say drain party, but I think dregs is better. Fabulous. Okay, so you probably will have a cocktail, but God knows what'll be in it.
Oh yeah, so I like that something like it will be seasonal.
Yes.
So we'll go for something. So if it's winter, we'll go for like a bramble, something like that, with like wintry, sort of autumny fruits in. But then something fun and fresher, for something citrusy if it's summer.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds delightful. Excellent. People will get is it a strong cocktail?
If I'm making it, but only because I don't read I just scan. And then once I've scanned it once, I'm like, I think I have the essence of this. So what
Fabulous.
could be a nice cocktail often ends up just being like something that could cause sort of enamel damage to the people visiting.
Wow. Okay, great. I'm really getting a sense of your parties. I feel like a lot of people will have to stay over, but that's good. Okay, so with all that in mind, who's coming to this thing? Anyone? Everyone? Just close friends? Any family members? Is there anyone who's absolutely barred kind of
Oh,
situation?
no family members.
Right. So that's the barred list.
Yes. Oh, wait. So, I mean, I would like to have a 2-tier system where people come. My preference is people with children come in the day to a certain time and then leave. And then some people who are like, I actually don't want to socialise with children. And I respect that.
Yeah.
The children will be gone by about 7. So if you want to come, afterwards, and some of the parents stay on, and some of them are like, I'll go home and do bedtime.
I have never seen a trigger warning on a party for children, and I absolutely love it. Trigger warning: the party without the children will begin at 7. Fabulous. Okay, no family, just friends, and there's a cutoff point for kids.
Yes.
I should let you know that I have slightly more intense powers than your average party planner.
Okay.
I can magic any 3 people in.
Oh,
They can be
wow.
celebs. They don't have
Okay.
to be, and it doesn't matter if they're dead or alive.
Oh my gosh.
So, which 3 people am I getting on the guest list for you, Kiri?
Oh, that is such a brilliant question, right? Who is going to be? Okay, I mean, one is they're not famous, but they are. It is a friend of mine, but I just want to make sure that they're.
Go on.
So I have a friend called Christopher Hughes, and they are the head of the Anglesey Druids, one of the only Welsh language drag queens. And until last year, they worked in a mortuary doing autopsies. You will not find a more interesting person. And as soon as Chris arrives, everyone sort of flocks. And
Yes.
those intense, amazing, big conversations happen very quickly.
Okay, so that really assures a sort of level of intimacy and sharing
Yes.
and intrigue. To
And
the
we're talking
party.
about ghosts and death immediately, which we all want.
Wow, we have different friend groups, and that's great. Okay, so death instantly. So Chris Hughes is
Yes.
assuring us of that.
Christopher
Who
Hughes,
else?
definitely.
Christopher Hughes.
And then you want some like, so there's someone I think is I have done it before where I met, this is going to be a clang, at someone's party I met the wonderful Maxine Peake, and I was like, when you're like, well, we'll get on amazingly.
I'm back in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched the light in her eyes go out as I bored her, as I started to hyper-focus on some very niche bit of conversation. She was so lovely and polite, but when you're someone's like, how has this happened to me? And I'm like, I've never been that person before.
Fuck.
So I can't be trusted to speak to people who are, like too revered. but I'm going to have one more throw of the dice.
Okay, so
I'm
so
gonna-
Maxine's not invited because it sounds like she wouldn't want to come.
She would be like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, I'm absolutely busy.
Oh, I think I'm washing my cold that day. Sorry, no.
But I would like someone I've been talking about a lot recently because I think they're fantastic. Emma Thompson.
Fuck yes. Oh my god.
Just think you could throw her anywhere. I've got a very, very group of friends, and there's like there are drag queen, druids, and there's single mums, and there's absolutely everything. And it's like I want someone who's gonna be great with everybody, and I think Emma could do it.
I have never thought to invite Emma Thompson to a party because she'd just be a good mixer.
Yeah.
She's just good with everyone. She's good with the parents. She's good with the kids. She's good with the friends. That's amazing.
Yes.
Also, though, I do feel a little bit sorry for Emma because I don't know if you probably get this as a comic, but at a lot of, when we spoke about them earlier, weddings, I do feel like comedians occasionally will get put at tables
A
with
dry table to bring the fun.
because they'll be like, she'll be able to talk to anyone. And it's like,
Yeah.
but why do I have to?
Yes.
Must I?
Yeah. You get put with the least favourite cousin.
Yeah, or the
Someone from
driest aunt
university.
in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the end they'll go, she loved you. And it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm never seeing Pam again.
Yes, I know.
She ruined my day.
Yeah, and like that Facebook request is gonna remain unanswered for several years.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. So, but good for you. Emma Thompson's the lube of this party.
Yeah, she'll be great.
And Christopher Hughes. And do you want a third?
Yeah, who shall I? You want someone who's gonna bring some really flamboyant showbiz, which, to be fair, Chris does.
Yeah.
Often will arrive in drag and then sort of change because it's a lot. It's a
Good
lot.
for them.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I would love someone who is like Billy Porter, right?
Oh my God.
Imagine that on the
Obsessed.
karaoke.
Oh, wow. You know what? I'd go outside to listen to Billy Porter on karaoke. Wow. Also, imagine being a druid drag queen and not being the most overdressed. Being like, oh, casual wear beside Billy.
I just think Billy would really go for it with a fancy dress. Again, I think that if anyone does my least favourite thing of bringing along their very boring partner that they know I'm not mad on, I really feel like Billy would put them in their place over a bowl of punch.
That's phenomenal. So you will bring Billy to do the reading for you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I might even just give a heads up via text, like, just so you know, we really are angling for this friend to leave her partner, and if you could do something that instigates the argument that makes that happen, then that would be great.
That's phenomenal. It's so I'm sure there will be people listening being like, I don't have any friends like that, in which case you are the friend. And your boyfriend's a hell at a party. So far, Kiri, you've given me, the theme is likely a leisure dress code that anyone can access.
Yes.
So we're talking probably a K party.
Yeah, let's do that.
Fabulous. You've got...
I'd like to go C, actually. C is dress
good for
code,
you.
because Comic Relief, Catherine, will do C.
Isn't
Haven't
that
done that
nice? Okay, gorgeous. So, theme is...
Pizza karaoke fun times.
Pizza karaoke fun times, please stay away from the naked flame. You've got a C dress code. We're doing it at your house. It's going to be a guest list of Emma Thompson, Christopher Hughes and Billy Porter. My God, divine. But we need to get to the nitty gritty, and a good playlist can make or break a party. So I need to know what tunes you've got in mind. Let's get right into it after this. Okay, I hope you managed to have a bit of a breather in the break, as this next section is possibly the most controversial area of party planning. The tunes. Kiri, it can't all be karaoke. I know that when you like a song, you love a song, but what are you putting on?
Right. Well, you have to design the playlist.
Like time-wise?
Yes.
Okay, talk to me.
So, in the bit where the kids are there, we're throwing in some absolute Disney bangers. We
Are
want
we?
them to be having a good time.
That's nice.
Yes. So there's You're Welcome from Moana, that kind of thing will be
That's
in
gorgeous.
there. Songs that they know from TikTok that I'm not that keen on. But
Like?
sort of like, I don't even know what they are.
Even
They're
as
like,
I said that, I was like, like?
Yeah, but
what
they're
would
like-
that be?
they'll hear songs like, oh, it's from TikTok, and I'm like, I've literally have no idea what you're talking about.
If you say so,
So
yeah.
whatever is on, so that is important. It's very sort of, I would say, broad Radio 2 kind of. There's something for everyone.
Good for you.
But then we do want people dancing at a certain point.
Yeah. What time do you want them dancing?
well, let's get the kids out of the way and the flames away.
So pizza and kids have to kind of be done.
Yeah, we've all got a couple of drinks in us, so we're looking at 9 p.m. We might shift it up. In my ideal world, we're going to roll this into the karaoke. There's a live band backing it. So I want a pub live band that can just bang out.
Yes.
Like, I want to hear, I'll be honest, all of the Spice Girls' first album.
Yes! Oh my God.
Back to back.
Oh my God, I'm so happy.
I want ABBA. I want Take That. I want just absolute wedding disco vibes. I don't want it to be cool. I want everyone dancing.
Phenomenal. And band wise, are they in the house or outside?
They're outside. They're outside.
This is giving this is very, maybe this is where the Irish and the Welsh have a very strong similarity. It's like, yes, it's like, it also, I just think it really alleviates the pressure on people. Like, the second you have live music, it is a party.
Yeah.
People don't have to be making it a party.
Mm-hmm.
It is a party. And then you're like golden. You can just basically relax and have a great time.
It's so good. And it's so, people will be singing along, which means that when the karaoke shifts in, they feel more empowered to do it.
They've already done it. Gorgeous.
In fact, I went to a great party for Jess Nappett's birthday.
Nice.
And they had a live band that backed me doing karaoke.
Oh my God, that is, to me, that's too much. I will say this, as a person who doesn't like karaoke, which, and I've never redone it.
But no one was made to do it.
Yeah, okay, good. Now that's, okay, good. It's not compulsory. And part of me thinks, yikes, the pressure of a live band, but also, to be fair, a live band does sort of drown you out in a way that sometimes karaoke music doesn't.
And they sing along, you know, they will paper a multitude of sins. Then,
Beautiful.
for the final bit, I know people will drop off, but I know the group of people that will be there at the end.
Don't we all?
I'm going to DJ.
Although sometimes there's a surprise. Sometimes there's like, really?
Yes, yeah. Is everything okay at home?
Who did he come with? Yeah. Oh.
There used to be a guy in uni who did that I would throw lots of parties and never invite him. But just because I didn't know him really, I knew of him. He was on sort of a similar course to me, but not the same. Yeah. And I would open the door and I'd be like, how did you find out about this? And he'd walk past me. Half an hour's time, he'd be absolutely naked.
Oh no!
Another half an hour's time, he'd be naked asleep on the sofa. And this was a very well-established pattern. We're talking about 5 or 6 parties of this behaviour.
No.
But I was like, I've moved. How do you know I live here?
I did walk into my own office at a Christmas party, and I didn't know we were using that room for the party because I said I didn't really want to. And just found a man who had not been invited holding absolute court in my armchair. And I thought, do you know what? If you're going to come uninvited, you might as well fucking rule the roost. Yeah, and to be fair to him, he brought some gorgeous vibes. But I was like, I did not. Well, all right then. Okay, I guess this is your party in here.
I would have felt deeply aggrieved if I was holding a party and then a man I don't know was in my academic space, being more charismatic than I was.
What if I told you he was like a very well dressed, gorgeous gay man, and I was kind of thrilled he even knew a better party? Yeah, I was like, okay, go off. I guess this is your sub party in my party. Fine, I like it. Maybe I'll get an invite to this. Ooh. Okay, so we've got the end of the night. You've got your probably predictable group. You're now DJing.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means that I access a playlist I've carefully cultivated that is all indie sleaze. Because that is the era I grew up in.
Arctic Monkeys?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's all that stuff. It's like all the big gossip, Standing in the Way of Control. Yeah. Probably the first track I would knock out, to be honest.
I fucking love that tune.
It's so good. Me and my best mate Faith up there DJing. And doing the DJing that celebrities do, where they just stand behind a laptop as it plays through a playlist that someone else has designed.
But you give it songs.
Oh, giving it so. There's a mic that's live up there, so we can sort of get involved with something. Yeah,
incredible. Okay, great. How do you feel about gifts?
It's so interesting.
Are you good at receiving gifts?
I love gift giving. I do, and do you know what? My friends are brilliant at buying gifts, and there's a beautiful family in my life who live near us, and they never come around your house, even if they're just popping by. They will have made you something. So I have these like craft workshops at my house, and I invite a load of women, and we do something together. They arrived, the mum and the daughter, bunch of flowers, focaccia baked that morning, and some blackberry crumble flapjacks thing that they'd
Jesus.
made.
Okay, homemade baked goods are very welcome.
Yeah, and they'll be like, oh, there's some kombucha, lychee kombucha or something. They're just I love stuff like that. It's so thoughtful. Well, yeah, makes me feel like a pig though. I go to people's weddings and not get them anything.
That does make you a pig.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to
it's
say
awful.
it. That's awful. But okay, great. And then again, if you are working that wedding, by which I mean speaking to the aunt, then I do think that's fine. Okay, Kiri, it's not homemade focaccia, but what you will find beside you is a gift bag. I feel
Genuinely for me.
yeah, genuinely for you.
This is exciting. Now, can I tell you that this is, well, we're a strong start already. I'll be okay with this.
Yeah.
So one of my worst, look at you finding out in real time what's in here.
I was a real dad at Christmas there. I was like, what did I get you? Oh, it's a party hat. Oh my God.
Oh my God. That is,
The string broke.
no, my
that's
face was too fat
devastating.
for it.
Can I just say, by the way I was genuinely about to say, like, wow, I can't believe they never fit my head. I've broken every single one of them. Same with Christmas crowns.
Okay.
I have such a big head. They're not made for adults.
Okay,
That's what I'll say
thank
about
you.
that.
This is actually my nightmare. In opening a present in front of someone that I don't know if they're any good at getting presents. There's only a few people I'll be like, can I open it now? And other people I'll be like, it's okay if I open
Save
it.
it for my birthday,
save it.
but in 3 years' time when you couldn't possibly be there. Yeah. Well, this is from Comic Relief, so you have to be nice because frankly, it's a charity.
Yeah. Oh, okay, right. There's very strong stuff in here.
Oh my God,
yes.
look, it's a dog bandana.
What?
This is great.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my dog's gonna look adorable in that.
That's so good.
How do you make a dog in a wheelchair cuter? Give it a Comic
A
Relief
little
bandana.
bandana.
That's
Oh my gosh.
genuinely brilliant.
I'd wear that.
Yeah. Can't believe I'm going to start wearing bandanas.
The two groups of people that I look at most when I have clothes envy are toddlers and dogs. I'm always like, I'd wear that jacket, and Ellen's like, please relax.
Oh, this is the one from. I'm sure this is the one that I grew up with, right?
Oh my gosh, really? The red nose?
Yeah.
How cute. It's got glasses and you look adorable. You and your dog are going to be divine in the park.
I know
This
we're
is
going to be
too
the
cute.
talk of Ennismore.
You really will.
We were already because he's. I've done a bit of telling. He's in a wheelchair, but
Yeah.
this is really going to tip us over. This is
my
so lovely.
Yeah, that's a good haul.
I just did the really embarrassing thing of good. Is there any more though?
Anything else? No, afraid
There
not.
is. There is.
there? Oh.
Well, I feel like I've got asthma. I've had an inkling anyway, but I feel like I've just.
It's good to
proved
do a
it.
test. It's good to do a test.
Thorough test. These are genuinely fantastic.
I
gifts.
actually love the dog bandana more than I can say. So
It's
that's
really
it's also
good.
similar to the one I'm wearing myself today. So that's very nice. Oh my gosh, Kiri. Well, it turns out you're quite good at getting gifts. You were very enthusiastic about those.
But these are good gifts.
okay.
Yeah, these are good gifts. I'm very bad at hiding it.
Me too.
I once got given from an ex a taxidermy course
Oh dear.
because I have taxidermy and I like it. So he got me a course on how to do it, and he was like, "Well, I thought you would like it," and I was like, "No, I like clothes from Zara. I don't want to go and work in the factory and make a pair of jeans. It's not the same thing."
No,
So
especially when the factory opens animals and pulls their innards out. Ugh. No thanks.
I don't know actually about sort of Zara's practicing. It
Yeah.
may well be that, but yeah, I'm quite bad at hiding it on my face. But luckily, have a lot of good present givers, including you. Although you've had nothing to do with this.
Although
quite
I am
clearly.
the dad and the mom is Comic Relief. Well, I'm glad you like it, dear. I'm so glad. Well done, us.
This is really nice. I'm going to put it to the side.
Yeah, you must.
Yes, because I want to keep it safe. I don't want to lean over and break anything
I'll
else.
never complain at you for tidying during mid-party, please.
That is your party. It's when you get the bin bag out.
I wonder if we started now. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, great. So we're nearly done, and then I actually do have to go make this party happen for you. But before I do, I'm obviously a rules-oriented person. I don't know if you can guess that from me, and I think rules control the fun. So does your party, and it doesn't sound like it, but does your party have any rules? Obviously, kids are out at 7, but is there how do you feel about arrival times and end times? Are they strict?
No. In fact, I prefer to stagger those. There are rules, and it is a really irritating one of, can we not... You wouldn't think this from me. It's like, can we not have shoes in the living room?
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with that rule. Wow, I was like, will we ever find something in common? There it is. Ding, 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 ding. What kind of floorings in the living room?
Well, it's a carpet, but it's a dark carpet. Boringly.
It can be your pride and joy, Kiri. I don't mind.
It is my pride and joy.
Yes.
It's probably the thing I've spent the most money on. It is the hunting tartan of the McLean family. So my carpet is like my family tartan.
I'm losing my mind.
It's really dark. It's like green and black with a tiny bit of white. But it's what I found out from having a dark thing. It shows all the things.
Of course it does.
I also live on a farm, so people can be outside going in and out. And I have a kitchen that is like anyone can wear any shoe in
We'll
there.
mop it down.
Listen, it's slate. We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But And the kids know now, they do it automatically. They all just kick the shoes off before they go in. But
Correct.
sometimes adults are like, well, this doesn't apply to me. Usually men.
Yes.
And I'm like, get your rubbish Dr. Martin off my carpet.
Absolutely good for you. And also, you have the added advantage of being able to be like, please don't stand on the family history. Please don't.
That's my lineage you're trampling over.
Denigrate grandpa. That's great. You don't even have to be like, clean up. You just have to be like, do you hate us? That's gorgeous. I love that. Don't colonize my
Celtic
cushions.
oppression.
That's gorgeous. Yes, I love it. Okay, so is there anything else you want to veto? So no shoes in the living room.
I love a staggered arrival time.
Yeah.
So I will tell people it starts at different times. Well, they'll all get the sort of like text that's like, friends, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And we also make that sure that's very funny as well.
Yeah.
And then it will be, when people check in, they'll be like, what time do you want us? And I'm like, I want you getting there at 4 because then we can get ready together and pre-drink or whatever.
Yes.
I'd be like, and some other people are like, do you know what? I probably won't start going till 10 because I'm like, I don't want you.
Yes. There's also other people I would tell. Anyone you tell it's earlier because they won't come till 3 hours late anyway.
Exactly.
They think, yeah, my God.
So everyone gets sort of a tailored time. Anyone who has my affliction of ADHD, I'll tell them it starts at 4, knowing they won't be there before 9 p.m.
Yeah.
But knowing that they won't miss it completely.
Yeah, that's nice of you. And is there any sort of breakout space? Like, is there anyone crying in the corner? Do you have gossipers in the corner? Do you have a specific space for any group of people that you might, like antisocial men? What is your vibe?
Well, usually they gather around fires. That's something I've noticed.
Oh.
Yes. So the men that I haven't sort of specifically invited, and usually there will be some absolute knave in there. In the past, it's been my brother-in-law who will sort of step up and be like, I'll take care of these boys tonight. I'll keep them away from you.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
I have to say, to be fair, my brother is an absolute Pied Piper for sort of lost men.
Yes.
And he similarly probably would take them to the fire, but my God, he makes every one of them feel like they're fascinating.
Oh my gosh. Yes, exactly that. My
So
brother-in-law's
kind.
so good at that. And I literally, the person he was talking to at a party that I'm thinking of, my partner and I colloquially refer to as the most boring man in the world. So we're like, oh my God, you were the most boring man in the world for all of last night. And he was like, is that who you've been talking about? We're like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I did think he was
That checks it.
pretty
But he'll have
dry.
had the greatest night of his life.
He'll have had a really great night.
Oh, it's so nice. It's a special skill. My brother is one of those people who, like, so many men would describe him as their best friend. And he's like, who? Oh, yeah. Lovely lad. That's so nice. Okay, great.
And then I'll have sort of the gossiping, my friend Faith that the aforementioned, and the gays will be in a corner somewhere having, like I say, deep, intense chats. I love that. There's usually a group of mams really letting the hair down.
The mams go wild.
They're so good, cackling away. You know, the Kylie. Have you had Kylie Rosé?
Don't come to my house and insult me. Have I had Kylie Rosé? Yes.
So there's empty bottles of Kylie Rosé everywhere, obviously,
Gorgeous.
and they're just having a lot of fun. Also, I've got a lot of like Welsh performery kind of theatre-y mates, who will be on the karaoke, dancing
Stunning.
with each other, singing with each other.
Oh my God. That's actually theatre types on karaoke. While in any other setting would annoy me.
Yeah.
In that context, you're like, well, this is just a vibe. Good for you.
There's one amazing woman, she's a fantastic comic and recording artist called Caris Aleri, sorry. And she is one of the singers in, if you ever saw Charlotte Church's Pop Dungeon, which is one of the best live experiences ever.
No, but now I want to go to that, obviously.
It's stopped. Its last gig was at Eurovision. It's
That's
literally the
devastating.
most perfect thing ever. So Caris is an amazing singer, and we sort of text go, if there's any karaoke songs you want in particular, because of the Wi-Fi,
We'll line them up.
We'll line them up. And most people didn't get back, or they got back with 7 songs. So it was Hey Big Spender (Shirley Bassey version), I Am What I Am. It was real big. She was going
those are
hard.
huge
Huge
tunes.
songs, yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Okay, love that. Right. Last but not least, we need to come up with a party name to put at the top of the invite. So let's run through the broad strokes of the party you've told me you're looking for here. So your party trick is, of course, you can make yourself into a cup holder. Phenomenal stuff. The theme is karaoke, open flame, kids welcome until a certain point, a bit of fun times at your own house vibes. But we'll have to find a shorter way to say it. Dress code, the letter C. BYOB, but please don't bring any more gold flakes because Kiri's frankly got them on every flat surface and she'll be making a cocktail to go with the season. Of course she will. The guest list is the gays, the mams, the Boys they brought with them, unfortunately, but they'll be at the fire. Emma Thompson, Billy Porter, and Christopher Hughes.
Yes.
The venue, your own home, but for God's sake, take your shoes off if you're going to go
Have
over
some
the tartan
respect.
carpet. Please don't be disrespectful. Recognise your ancestors and be kind. And the food is pizzas, ideally not made by your partner who'd love to attend one party one time.
Yes.
The only people barred are your family, it seems. And I can cut that out if you want me to.
No, that's fine.
Great.
There is. I love my sister-in-law. My brother would hate it all,
great.
but my sister-in-law and my niece can come.
Great. The only people barred are some family. The playlist is honestly phenomenal. In the afternoon for the kids, we're talking Disney. Come the evening, we are doing a lot of not very cool but incredible crowd pleasers,
Yeah.
and we will segue into indie sleaze, and thank goodness we will. And the only rule is get your Doc Martens off me carpet and know that your arrival time is specific to you.
Yes, yeah.
Fabulous. With all that in mind, what are we calling this thing?
Well, I want high attendance.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call it Kiri has an announcement party.
Oh my God, you tease!
Am I pregnant? Is it our wedding secretly? Am I ill? I want all those things to go through people's head and them to show up. Because do you know what I hate?
Oh my God. By the way, sorry, just to be like, I don't really mind about gifts. And then to be like, do an announcement. I now have to get a gift that says that like might cover for a wedding, might cover for a divorce, might cover for a potential pregnancy, but it might cover for an illness. You conniving. Wow, that's genius.
Yeah, vouchers is the only way to go.
It really is. It's a one for all. Sorry, what? That's brilliant.
Yes, I hate it when people message you. They're usually the people who've been the most annoying in the lead up to it and be like, so what time is and who's coming? And they go, oh, sorry, I'm not. And then they give you, I'm like, I don't need to read 9 paragraphs. I'm giving someone a pizza order here and making a cocktail.
It's fine if you're not coming.
Yes. And I don't. You might feel guilty, but that's not an emotion I need to deal with at the moment. I'm hosting a party.
I also think don't message on the day.
Oh yeah.
I think either message on the day before or the day after.
Yeah.
Sorry I couldn't make it, but nobody wants to receive, as they're getting their house ready, a list of people who aren't coming. Let them just enjoy the people who are there.
Exactly.
Okay, so Kiri has an announcement party. Are you a girl who's cried announcement too many times? Have you done this before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so they
keeping it in
really
my
would.
Back pocket.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I would show up for that too, yeah.
You would, right?
I'd come to Wales, yeah. I'm on the train. I'm going, what's it gonna be? Oh my God. And do you make an announcement?
I would probably try and cultivate something very small.
Yeah, gorgeous.
To just say I've been rebooked for a show or something.
Oh, that's fine. We're having a high reap of beetroot. Beetroot for everyone. Oh my God, divine. Well, I'd be there and it's very effective. So well done you. Thank you so much. It's your party. It's a Kiri has an announcement party and I will see you there. But now we have to do our last round. You ready for this? It's quick fire.
Okay.
Kiri Pritchard McLean. Hummus or guacamole?
Guacamole, homemade, hummus, shot bought.
Fabulous. So you're having both?
Yeah.
Okay.
But as in, like, if those are the choices, it's guac that he's made.
Yeah.
But if it's hummus, I'd rather shot bought. A specific brand as well.
I don't disagree. What's the brand?
Have you had Ramona's jalapeno flavors?
Yes, I have.
It's unbelievable.
Oh my God. This woman. I don't love jalapeno, but I do for some reason like that.
Agreed.
Okay. Custard creams or pink wafers?
Pink wafers just for the aesthetic.
Soda or tonic?
Oh, tonic.
Crisps or breadsticks?
Crisps.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Still or sparkling?
Sparkling.
Olives, black or green?
Ooh, this is difficult. I had this conversation the other day.
It's not difficult. There's one objectively correct answer.
Hold on. Black on a pizza, green on a cocktail stick.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, you're right. To be fair, it is tricky. Cake or cheese?
Cake.
Yeah, but you have to choose between that or vegan cheese, which I know is getting better, but come on. Dancing, ballroom or disco?
Oh, disco.
Yeah. Long goodbye or French exit?
Oh, I always do French exit.
Yes, my girl.
For my own parties as well.
Yes,
I will
correct.
not tell anyone I'm going to bed.
God damn, Kiri Pritchard McLean, you've nailed that. Well done you, and thank you for coming. Doesn't she look fabulous? I can't wait for the party.
I know. Imagine what I'm going to be with my... I'm worried that I've made it sea-themed and I've made it sort of seem like there's an illness and everyone's going to think of it.
The big C! Kiri's got an announcement and the theme is C. Do with that what... It could be chlamydia.
Oh, yeah, again.
You've been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
A joy. There we have it. You're invited to Kiri Pritchard McLean's Kiri Has an Announcement party, and I'm looking forward to it. The stress. Thanks very much for listening. Be sure to give us a follow, a 5-star rating, review, tell a friend, all that good stuff. You can find It's My Party on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you choose to listen. And be sure to check out the Comic Relief YouTube channel if you'd like to watch this episode and see my party planning setup for yourself. Or you can find us on Insta and TikTok at Comic Relief. To buy Comic Relief merchandise, visit amazon.co.uk/Comic Relief, where you can also learn more about Amazon's work with Comic Relief, a registered charity. It's My Party is produced by Ollie Seymour and executive produced by Ariane Mary for Audio Always. Executive producer for Comic Relief is Sam Michelle, and for Amazon Music, it's Megan Bradshaw.